Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare the Oculus Quest 2 with the original Oculus Quest. These are two affordable virtual reality headsets, wireless devices from Oculus, and I've done unboxing and review videos of both that I'll link to in the description so you can check them out separately. The Oculus Quest 2 seen here on the right is the new version, which has just been announced. And this is a white headset, so it's immediately obvious that the difference from the outside and that the original was a sort of black and grey cloth design and the new one is very white. There are a number of other changes besides those design updates though, including more processing power under the hood, upgrades in terms of battery longevity, change to comfort and fit, as well as some internal software changes and things that make things interesting. So this video is going to talk to you about the differences between the two headsets. So if you already own the original Quest, you'll have an idea of whether the Quest 2 is worth the upgrade, or if you're just considering getting into the Quest, whether the Quest 2 is for you. The good news is the Quest 2 is £100 or $100 cheaper than the Quest was when it first launched, and that is an impressive price for a headset that doesn't require a PC to run and doesn't even need to be plugged into a smartphone. You do need a smartphone in order to use it because you need it set up initially and to download the apps, but you do not need it to run constantly as you would with those old style headsets where you plug a smartphone into it. So it's nice to have that freedom. Also, not having to tether to your PC means that you have the wireless freedom to be able to move around. The Oculus Quest and the Quest 2 both have cameras on the outside, inside-out tracking technology that allows the headset to monitor where you are in the room and work out what you're doing, where your hands are moving, what your head's doing and things like that, so it can track your body in all sorts of space as it moves around, which makes for some superb wireless virtual reality gameplay. There are other differences in the headsets as well. You'll see the Quest on the right hand side, the original one, has an IPD slider underneath that you could use to adjust the distance between the lenses to compensate for the difference between your eyes. Now, IPD is the measurement between your pupils, so generally with VR headsets you need to work out that distance and then measure it. Now they've changed it on the Quest 2 so it's integral in the middle, so it's internal, and you have to basically move the lenses apart with your fingers between three settings: 58mm, 63mm and 68mm. Oculus says that most people will find a sweet spot in one of these three and it should be fine for the majority of users. However, if you find that you want to adjust in a more incremental, delicate way, you won't be able to do that, so that might be a gripe for many people, especially those that complained about software level IPD adjustment on previous VR headsets on the PC mainstream side. Now, when I unboxed and reviewed the original Quest, I thought it was a great bit of kit, a wireless headset that offered similar gameplay to something like the Rift S and the original Vive, that basically uses a PC and a gaming PC to run really high-end games. The Quest manages to do that despite not having a PC to be tethered to. It's all integral hardware, and they've updated the hardware in the Quest 2 that now has a Qualcomm SnapdragonTM XR2 platform, and it also has more RAM. The original Quest had 4GB, this has 6GB, and both the baseline Quests had 64GB of internal storage, but as I said, the Quest 2 is now £100 or $100 cheaper, which means it's $299 for the base model with 64GB of storage, or $399 for 256GB of internal storage, which is fantastic. They've also upped the resolution on the Quest. The original one had 1600 by 1440 pixels per eye. The new one has 1832 by 1920 pixels per eye, so you've got nearly 2K resolution per eye. This Quest 2 also has the ability to support up to 90Hz refresh rate as long as the games support it, which means you get a smoother experience. Obviously, all the extra power under the hood means that potentially game developers can make the most of that to give you a better experience. Otherwise, there's similar design aesthetics to it, to the original Quest, in that it has these rear firing speakers on the arms that fire spatial audio into your ears, or you can plug in a 3.5mm headset and you'll see it's easy to fit thanks to this cloth design and a flexible headband, which is a strap with Velcro that adjusts on top and then a clip at the back so you can get it fitting the way you like it. The controllers have had an update too. The original Quest black controllers you can see here have that ring on top and quite a thin design to them. They are AA battery powered, and there were some complaints that the battery didn't last as long on them, but I found them to be pretty decent and quite good. The tracking on this is surprisingly good. There's no external tracking base stations you get with PC headsets for the most part, and instead you just have integral built-in cameras that track the movement of your body and the controllers as you're using them. Oculus has now reduced the number of LEDs inside the controllers without compromising on that positional tracking to deliver 4 times the battery life, which means that the controllers keep lasting and lasting despite only having a single battery contained within, which is really good and really impressive. Controllers themselves also have a multitude of buttons on them, and they're comfortable to use, lightweight and easy to get on with. No problems with tracking on either the Quest or the Quest 2. Both these headsets work in dark rooms and really well lit rooms as well. You cannot use them outside, unfortunately, which would be fantastic. I really wish you could do that, just keep cool while you're outside playing in VR, but neither of them support that. But the tracking system is basically the same sort of thing. Put the headset on and then you can use the controllers to paint around the room to create a guardian space and play space, or you can do a static standing or seated gaming experience is another option. Another update to the Quest 2, which is also available in beta on the original Quest, is hand tracking. So hand tracking basically allows you Quest 2 to use the integral cameras to track what your hands are doing, and you can use this within the menu system to basically move between menus and things. On the original Quest you had to opt into that and go into the various settings. On the Quest 2, as soon as you get out of the box and put it on your head and start using it, the initial setup process talks you through how to do that, and it's all about pinching and adjusting the position of your fingers to go through the menus and stuff, and it's pretty cool. Obviously it requires games to support it, but there's bound to be more in future in the fact that it's rolling out as standard with the Quest 2. Another thing that you can do with the Quest 2 is you can use Oculus Link, which again is a system that was available in the original Quest, but they're now making a bigger deal of with the Quest 2, in that you can buy a high quality speedy USB-C to USB-C cable, plug that into your gaming PC if you happen to have one and a compatible PC, and I'll leave links in the description so you can find out if yours will work, and then you can play Oculus Rift and Rift S level games, so more premium games, through your headset, through your PC, without any extra equipment except for that USB-C cable. Yes, you need to be plugged in then, so you lose the wireless capabilities, but that does mean that you can play a wider range of games. The Quest 2 comes with around 200 games available to play and purchase through the store, so there's loads of content. When the original Quest launched, it didn't have nearly as much, so if you've been putting off getting a Quest because you were worried there wasn't enough games to play, now there's a hell of a lot more. And obviously with Oculus Link, if you happen to have a gaming PC, you have access to more through the Oculus Store and via Steam as well, so there's plenty of things going on with this headset. Now, generally, specs-wise, you've obviously seen an improvement in the visuals, and they've upped things like the refresh rate and the internal storage, and they've reduced the price, and they've made it a more comfortable fit. It fits closer on the face, you get a better view of the VR world and a lot less light let in through the edges, which result in a much nicer experience. There are a number of accessory options coming as well, which I've not managed to try, that include things like a battery pack and things like that. Talking about battery life though, the headset itself still only manages around 3 hours of battery, so both the Quest and the Quest 2 will only work for about 2 to 3 hours depending on what you're doing before they need plugging in to charge. It does only take 2.5 hours to charge up the Quest 2 though, so it charges up and is ready to go again pretty quickly. So if you own the original Quest, is the Quest 2 worth upgrading to? Probably not. I'd say there's not that much difference. Yes, the visuals are better. Yes, you have the potential for 90Hz refresh rate, which leads to a smoother gaming experience, but you basically have access to the same things. On the original Quest, you still have Oculus Link, the hand tracking, and all the different games available. You just get more power and flexibility with the Quest 2, and potentially a better fit and more longevity from it. Hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Be sure to check out the unboxing review videos. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful, interesting, hilarious, or all of the above. Be sure to check out the description for other information you might find interesting, and subscribe and watch these other videos as well that I think might be useful to you, and have a great life.